What is going on, everybody? I'm Andrew Marsh alongside Chuck Kraus, and you are tuning in to the first Behind the Cage episode of the 2021-2022 campaign for the Maryville Saints. Chuck, the season is right around the corner. Only a few more days until opening night. The Saints taking on the Alabama Crimson Tide. How excited are you?
Oh, man. Marsh, we've been talking about it all week. We've been talking about it for the past 2 weeks, on the pod, just, with one another. It's back. Hockey's back. Maryville hockey's back. I'm so pumped.
Well, for the fans, this is what they can expect this weekend. There's a tailgate on Friday at 6 p.m. Puck drop is at 7:15. It is a blackout. So obviously wear black. It's the first time that we're seeing fans in the stands since the national tournament, but for the majority and pretty much the entire season at the Maryville University Hockey Center, the Saints had no fans in the stands, and now they do, and it's going to be a complete different game inside the doghouse.
Yeah, absolutely, Marshy. That blackout, I'm just hoping to see a black sea of people in their gear just cheering on the team and coming out, being excited not only for hockey, for sports, to get some normalcy back. And I'm looking for the doghouse to be pumping.
Well, I know everyone's excited, but the Dogs have to take care of business this weekend. Like we said, a game on Friday at 7:15, another one on Saturday. They're taking on the Crimson Tide, who didn't play last year, so they're definitely eager to get back on the ice. The Dogs, they have some new faces. We're going to touch on that before this weekend within this video that you're watching right now. But Chuck, what do you think that the Dogs have to do to be successful? Obviously, we could talk about the entire season, but let's just focus on this weekend right now. What do they have to do in order to beat the Crimson Tide?
Yeah, let's knock off the rust early. Let's come out. Let's play hard. Let's use the power and the rumble from the crowd that we're not used to, that they're not used to. Let's use it to our advantage. Let's take advantage of these two opening games and show Alabama what Maryville hockey is all about. I mean, like you said, Alabama hasn't played for a while. They visited us at the Doghouse 2 years ago, didn't play at all last year. So even though we have to come out flying, playing hard, Alabama's going to come out doing the same thing. They haven't played, so they're going to be ready to go. And then even though they're visiting us, just seeing the amount of people that'll be in the arena is going to fire them up as well.
Yeah, it also could be a shell shock though too. Although having not played that entire year, they probably don't know any better than to see fans in the stands. But like you said, they're going to be so eager to get back out on the ice. Of course, the Saints are eager to get back out there. They have some new faces and a couple big D-men on the back end that we like to see, and a couple familiar faces as well to the Saints family. We have another Prexler on our hand.
Yeah, we sure do. Tymon's coming in to play with his brother TJ. And like we've been talking about TJ, 2 years ago, he was the MCH Rookie of the Year. So 2 years later, Tymon, his brother, comes into play. And I got to see him practice yesterday. He's looking good on the ice. He's looking comfortable. So hopefully TJ kind of took him under his wing and said, here's what Maryville hockey's all about. And, like I said, he's looking comfortable.
Well, speaking of TJ Prexler, he's looking to have a bounce back season. Like you said, he was one of the best Saints 2 years ago. Last year didn't go his way, but it was a shortened season. So anything can go with a weird year like that. But he is looking to have a huge year this year and ultimately propel the Saints back into the national tournament, a spot where we saw them back in April.
Yeah, I mean, it was, not only to have the Nationals in our home rink, to make it into the Nationals, to be able to play was huge. It was the first time a lot of these guys have ever played, at this level, and being able to play in a tournament like that, and then have it in your home rink. I mean, everything was just real cool about it. Even though we lost first round, I know those guys were excited to be there, and the entire weekend, the whole team was there watching games. So it was an exciting thing. I know they learned a lot, and I know Coach Hogan learned a lot and started putting stuff into practice, the stuff that he learned from nationals. So a win-win, I think. And all we got to do is move forward.
Yeah, you talked about the rust, knocking that rust off. getting the wheels going early and often in that first game, and hopefully create some confidence going into the second game and allowing that to move the rest of your season along with some good confidence and playing well, because that's exactly what you need to do in order to win games. What do you think the Dawgs have to do ultimately this weekend that will help them propel them into a great spot, not only in the rankings, but just from a personal standpoint in the locker room?
Yeah, absolutely. So, they're going to come out flying Friday, right? They're going to be excited. They're going to let adrenaline take them. Don't stop Friday. You gotta keep going. You got back-to-back games like a Friday, Saturday game against the same team. You got to come out playing as hard as you can Saturday that you did Friday. There may not be as many people in the stands. There may be, we don't know, but come out playing as hard as you do Friday on Saturday. Don't let your foot off the gas. Show ACHA, show your fans, hey, big school like Alabama coming in, we can still play, we can still beat them, and then that puts them in a good position for week 2 and week 3 as we have some, big opponents. Illinois, Lindenwood coming up after that. So keep your foot on the pedal and keep going.
Yeah, and you mentioned those two big teams. Obviously, the whole season is full of great teams, and they're going to have to be really stingy on D. And of course, their goaltending is going to have to come up big once again this year. How important is it for those three goaltenders moving forward after having a season like they did last year?
Yeah, absolutely. We couldn't have said enough good things about the three goalie tandem they got going on. Dominic Boyley, Johnny Massera, and Ed Coffey. All three goalies can play. All three have a little bit of different styles, which is great to see. You don't want to have, two of the same goalie. So at the practice this week, all three of them are working hard. And they got to keep on going, just like they did last year. All three goalies are good with each goalie playing. If you see what I mean, there's not one of them that, there's not
That's
one
a
of them that's
competition.
It is. It's a competition.
Yeah, it's a friendly competition.
It really is, and they know that each of them brings something different to the table. Each of them has a different style, and they're good with it. They're all about the team aspect. They want to win, and whoever John thinks is the right goalie for the job, the other two guys are good with it.
Well, obviously last year they did a 3-man rotation, so we're going to have to see who will be in the cage coming up Friday and Saturday, and of course the rest of the year. So if you want to keep an eye out on that, make sure you follow us on social media. If you want to follow us at the MU Hockey Network, you can, because we have all the information pouring in on social media. And of course, if you're watching the games, you're on YouTube. So definitely subscribe to Maryville Hockey on YouTube. That's at Maryville Hockey. Simple as that. Simple as that. So simple. But if you're not watching, obviously come out and watch the team at the Maryville University Hockey Center. They're taking on the Alabama Crimson Tide this weekend. Like we said earlier when we started, a blackout starting at 6 on Friday. We cannot wait to see all the fans in the parking lot and then in the stands watching and rooting on the Dawgs.
Yeah, Marshy, it feels so good to hear you say, come on out to the Maryville University Hockey Center for the hockey games. I mean, we didn't get to say that, and now we can say that, and we can tell people, our friends, we can tell family, we can tell complete strangers. Who cares? Come on out to Chesterfield. Come on out to the Maryville University Hockey Center. Watch the Dawgs play. It's going to be an awesome weekend. I'm so excited for the season, really, because of the fans. It's going to be a whole different atmosphere, and I'm pumped.
Me too. We're obviously going to have more content each week when the Saints take on their next opponent, and we'll have more to talk about then on Behind the Cage. So thank you for tuning in. Once again, like I said earlier, if you want to follow us on social media, on Twitter, at MU Hockey Network, and of course, follow the Saints as well. And enjoy the ride, fans, because this is the first week of a long, hopefully successful season for the Saints, and we're all excited to be a part of it.
Yeah, we sure are. It's like you said, that was a perfect quote, Marshy. Enjoy the ride. It's going to be a fun ride. It's going to be ups. There's going to be downs, and I just can't elaborate how excited we are for the season.
All right. Well, fans, thanks for tuning in. And you have been watching Behind the Cage for Maryville Saints Hockey history will be made.